Another day, another species application for Federation membership. At least that's what Zach 7 thought as he materialized at his desk in the Galactic Customer Service Department, his 3 primary tentacles already reaching for his morning cup of synthesized stimulant juice. The office was the same as always, a vast expanse of identical cubicles stretching into what appeared to be infinity, each occupied by a bored bureaucrat processing paperwork for the countless civilizations seeking to join the Galactic Federation. The air smelled of recycled oxygen and crushed dreams, with just a hint of that morning's breakfast paste lingering in the ventilation system. Zach 7 had been working in species application processing for 3 standard solar cycles, and he'd seen it all. Or at least, he thought he had. The job was simple enough. Review the application, assess the species development level, and either approve or reject their membership request. Most days involved dealing with predictable Type 2 civilizations that had just discovered faster than light travel and thought they were hot stuff. "Good morning, valued employee number 7249X7, chirped the automated work terminal. "You have 1 new application awaiting review. Species designation, human. Planet of origin, Earth, System Sol, status pending initial assessment." Zach 7 wiggled his eye stalks in what his species considered a yawn. Humans. He'd heard of them in passing, some bipedal mammals from a backwater spiral arm of the galaxy. Nothing special, just another species that probably thought they were the greatest thing since sliced antimatter because they'd managed to not blow themselves up with nuclear weapons. "Display basic species overview," he commanded, taking another sip of his stimulant juice. The holographic display flickered to life, projecting a slowly rotating image of a human. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. Boring. They didn't even have proper tentacles or a backup brain. The terminal's pleasant voice continued. "Species' notable achievements include development of space travel despite understanding only 5% of their own ocean, creation of thousands of languages despite inability to effectively communicate in any of them, and successful adaptation to every planetary environment through the innovative use of what they call spite." Zach 7 paused mid-sip. "Define spite in this context." "Processing. Spite. The human practice of accomplishing tasks specifically to prove others wrong or demonstrate that they can, often in direct opposition to logical self-interest or self-preservation." That was different. Most species evolved to avoid unnecessary risks and conserve energy. But before Zach 7 could ponder this further, his supervisor VedX materialized beside his cubicle. All 5 of their eye stalks focused on him with an intensity that made his chromatophores flush a nervous shade of mauve. "Ah, I see you've received the human application," VedX said, their voice modulator pitched low. "Word of advice, read the full file before making any decisions. These ones are special." "Special how?" Zach 7 asked, but VedX had already dematerialized, leaving behind only the faint scent of anxiety and upper management. Zach 7 turned back to his terminal, his curiosity genuinely piqued for the first time in cycles. "Display full species history," he commanded, settling in for what he assumed would be another routine review. The holographic display expanded, and the first entry made him spill his stimulant juice all over his primary tentacle. The header read, "Warning, the following content contains numerous violations of conventional evolutionary logic and multiple instances of 'because we felt like it' as legitimate scientific motivation." Maybe this wouldn't be such a routine day after all. Zach 7 stared at his terminal with growing bewilderment as he scrolled through humanity's historical records. The more he read, the more his chromatophores cycled through colors of confusion, disbelief, and occasional admiration. "Terminal, confirm data accuracy," he demanded, his eye stalks twitching. "These entries can't be correct." "Data accuracy confirmed with 99.9% certainty, the terminal chirped. "The 0.1% margin of error exists because humans occasionally accomplish things that our probability algorithms categorize as impossible." The first entry that caught his attention was humanity's space program. Most species waited until they had perfected their technology before attempting spaceflight. Humans? They strapped themselves to controlled explosions, pointed them at space, and hoped for the best. Their first moon landing was achieved using computers less powerful than the average Federation food synthesizer. Terminal display early space mission parameters. The holographic display showed an ancient human spacecraft held together by what appeared to be primitive adhesives and mathematical optimism. The mission parameters listed duct tape as a critical system component. "They reached their moon in this," Zach 7 muttered, his tentacles curling in distress.